Welcome everyone and good morning to Intuitive-da-MoonGoddess channel. So today I really don't have nothing in particular to talk about. Except that I was trying to pray and meditate as I do every morning. And for some reason, like what occurred to me some hours ago is still on my mind. So it takes for me sometimes, to clear that energy, because I'm not gonna say I'm pissed off about it, but really I already saw this coming and everything. But however, it's the point that I was helping these individuals, move around and this one thing and forth. But some people had the audacity to say the things that they do say, and sometimes these things are out of our control. So guys, the first card we had out is pride. I love myself, and I see myself in everything. Okay, so what I get with that, as you guys know, that pride is a sin. If you don't know now, you know. Pride is a sin, but there is good pride and there is definitely bad pride. Like, if you take pride in standing up for the weak, that's a good sign. For me, I take that as a good sign. Or, your pride resides in, helping people and, seeing people happy. You take pride in those moments. Like, that is, for me, that is a good sign. And then you have those pride that is boastful. That pride that says, they try to discourage other people, or, bring other people levels down, or whatever the case may be. That's the type of pride that I'm talking to. And then you have here, take time to breathe out. Now, I know sometimes that is hard and difficult, especially when, it's other people around you that try their best to diminish what you have going on, or feel like, they can, how could I put this? Or they try to inadequate your life. If you get what I'm saying, you get the drift where I'm going with this. So sometimes we have to take time to step back and breathe out through the situation, because, not everything is worth the reaction. But you do have some people that would try to take you there, all because they either don't have it, don't know how to obtain it, or attain it, or they want what you have, or something in the works of that nature. And they try to put these things off on you as being jealous or envious or hateful or spiteful, etc., etc. Y'all get what I'm going with this. So you got to take your time and step away from this situation. Although that card do not go there, that's what I'm feeling with this take time to breathe out. Sometimes you have to take yourself out the situation. And that goes to show with this situation, that my situation that I'm speaking of, which brought me to this, is that maybe that conversation between me and this individual shouldn't have happened the way it happened. But it did happen. Because you got some people that feel like you inadequate their life. If y'all understand what I'm saying. And with that, you take that as, and they take it as, or you being jealous, or you're envious, blah, blah, blah. But that's not the case at all. Because I don't smile, and I don't, I'm not that cheesy person. I look at you, I hear what you're saying, I nod my head like, I can see that happening. You get what I'm saying? Or I can see you doing that for yourself. So a lot of times, the clapping looks a little different. And sometimes for those that need to actually hear it, like, I will speak that. I will say, I see you doing your thing. Go ahead on with your bad stuff. Something like that. But oftentimes, like, it's not a lot that flatters me, but there is a point where I can understand why some individuals may feel the way they feel when, they tell me certain things. But yeah, not every person's gonna physically care for you. That clap gonna show up just a little bit different. And how I choose to show up for you is one of those moments. So if you're asking me, to do something and I do it, just know that I'm understanding, because more than likely I've been in that position, and I've been in a lot of been in that place before. I'm gonna say it that way because I don't know about the position. So it's a lot of things that really did happen to me, and a lot of you, if you heard some of my early readings, then you know what some of those things were. And I've come a long way from that point in time to say that, you know, it's really not a lot of things that flatter me. And for what it's worth, like, I have moments of standing up for what I believe in and what I feel. And one thing I've always said is that I'm going to do one or two things. Either I'm going to take up for a child, or I'm going to take up for some elderly person. Like, there's nothing that's going to come between that. So that's just the person I'm in, and that's where this pride come in from. That is my pride. It's not a lot that I do clap for, but I'm clapping in my heart because I'm relating, and I'm finding the circumstances within myself to show that empathy. So a lot of times, those that's not figuratively, it shows up just a little bit different. And that's why I'm learning to take the time to breathe out, because you have some people that don't understand that in particular, and they see it as, oh, you're being jealous or you're envious, and so on. So the next card we have, your dreams need a practical plan. And with that, I did realize something with my sister, and from time to time, you know, when I went back and read the message between me and her, I understood that maybe I was wrong, and I apologize for that. So it's learning when and when not to apologize for me. So, and I do, and I'm one of them. Like, and I really do have a hard time apologizing. I'm not gonna say I have a hard time apologizing, but I see myself as not ever being wrong, quote unquote out. But there is an aspect of me that's saying now more so than ever that I possibly can, or I am wrong. And I'm learning to apologize and adjust to that moment. And then the next card we have a new start is coming. So with this being said, that's releasing these people, places, and things that is not serving your purpose within your life at the moment. They have, you know, caused some type of conflict, some type of harm in this situation. That's causing you this conflict, or that's not serving your higher purpose, or it's something that you're not getting clarity on enough to say, oh, he or she didn't mean this, or he and she didn't mean that. So you got to be careful and put things where it goes, and put people where they goes when you come across them, as far as knowing where you stand with these said individuals when time comes. Y'all, and forgive me, because I got this thing on some video, and all these dang on the YouTube videos keep coming on, commercials. So, and sometimes they may show up and look a little different when you putting things for what it's worth and where it needs to be. So at the moment, that is what I'm learning. That is what I'm going through. And I'm taking that experience for what it's worth and moving past it. You know, I keep seeing the temperance card in my head. But, yeah. And a lot of people don't take to that all too well, or because you're not physically capping for them. But, you know, if I'm hearing you and I'm nodding my head, just know that I feel you from a place of understanding and knowing, because I done been through a similar situation, or I've been through that situation to know what it's like, what it feels like, and you know, and how that affected me. Because more than likely, when you're going through something, someone else could be experiencing that same thing, and that's how it affects them. But you can always share that experience, and you know, and gain insight from it. So there it is. So I went and found the temperance card because I love the way these cards look, no lie. So the temperance with the hangman. I get that this is a place of, right now you are in a place of understanding and trying to balance that all out. This is, temperance shows up as, I am here now. What are my next steps or next actions to take? And I feel like with this hangman and the temperance both present, this is showing up as, like I said earlier before this reading started, that in the amount that I feel, where I feel stuck in at the moment with the current situation that had played out. So sometimes situations happen and we get, how something happened, like can happen a few days ago or about a week or so ago, and then you experience the same thing going forward, like moments after. That's how I feel like this was. But at the same time, like my pride at that moment felt like it was being bruised, and she might have could have meant it in a calming way, but how I took it as was something totally different. So that could have been my fault. It may have. So the next card out, we have the Moon to the Four of Cups. These are distractions. These are these illusions. And as this other lady that I listen to from time to time, she called them pissy cups. And she used so many terms so loosely that it's really funny. Her name is Empress T444. 4444 or 444. It's something like that. Yeah, she called them pissy cups. And that's what they try to present to you versus to what it really is. And that's why the temperance in the hangman has came out and was showing here, because they tried to present something to you and you trying to search and find what it really is. But you also know that sooner or later it's gonna all come out. They're gonna eventually show their hands, show their true nature and where they stand with you and how they feel about you, and not give 2 cents in the rare care about what they say to you. So this is where I get with this, especially with that past situation. So that past situation teaches you how to handle that situation in the future when it arises again. So that was my lesson to be learned. And every time that lesson presents itself, I feel it, honestly. But sometimes I can also catch myself and be like, hey, however you took that, I didn't mean it that way. But I felt like, such and such, and I apologize for it. Or I'll say that, I'm trying to apologize, because I don't apologize. Like, that's been something very difficult for me to do, because as I stated earlier, I just felt like that, I'm quote unquote out always right. So with these illusions and things, just be careful with that, what people are presenting to you, because what it is may not always seem to what it may be. And then you have the Fool card out here. And that Fool card comes out here with take time to breathe out. Your dreams need a practical plan, and a new start is coming. So that means that you are moving away from something, people, place, or thing, and you're stepping into something new as you take the time to meditate on what it is that you are meditating, to release that energy to move forward on your journey or whatever the situation may be. So in the next card we have, I will show the world the real you. Okay, that card been coming out quite often with this deck. So, excuse me. So what I'm saying with show the real you is to not let up on the person that you are, who you are, and who you are becoming. That I get that, like, put your foot on the gas full force and go full force ahead. Full throttle ahead, full power ahead, whatever ahead. And That's the only thing that I can say after that, because not everybody know the shoes that you walked in, and not everybody know the path that you've been on. Not everyone knows the things that you have been through, but it's for you to tell them if you want to or not. Because people hear things through the grapevine, and they leave stuff out, they add stuff in, and what I know that from experience that people will do that, and you got to be careful with them type of people. And if you're not careful with them type of people, they will try to hurt you with your own stuff. And I don't even know they get half the truth and half lies. And they'll run with it. So the next card we got out here is adjustments are required. That means adjusting, like that card says, adjust yourself to the situation. As we saw out here, we had the temperance, what was that? The hangman to the Fool card. That means adjusting yourself, walking away from the things that you need to walk off of, so you can bring clarity and understanding into the current situation that you are in now, so you can develop yourself and your growth and your knowledge and your wisdom and move on from it by releasing those energies. Here we have don't let your past hold you back. That goes so well with this show the world the real you. A new start is coming. And take time to breathe out. And here we have also work through your fears. Yeah, I'm going to tell you this. The only thing that scared me is a snake. A physical snake and a human form snake. That is the only thing that scares me. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to protect myself. Don't let your past hold you back. Work through your fears. I'm going to protect myself. And that's one thing. And if you come raising your fist at me, or you come shouting and yelling at me, I may not say nothing back, and I may will. It just all depends on how I feel. You know, but at the same time, you sitting here really hollering about you want to fight, or this one thing and that, or you want to talk about it, that's fine, Dindy. If you want to believe that, then go ahead and believe it. But I have the proof. My proof is in my pudding, and my pudding is in my phone. Okay, so not only that, I'm not the one to holler about, oh, so you must want to fight, this one thing for, because I got a saying. And what gets under a lot of people's skin, and whether they know it or not, is the only thing I'm going to say, it is what it is. You can take that how you want to, and you can absolutely run with it, because at the end of the day, I'm going to stand on what I feel. I'm going to stand on what I believe in. And I'm not going to be shaken by what others may have to say about you, what you have to say about yourself, what you do and don't have. And some people take that as an attack. But guess what? At the end of the day, I don't care. Because just as well as you have, I have it too. And then some, maybe. And if you have just even a little bit more than me, kudos to you. You know, because at the end of the day, how could I hate off of that? How could I be mad of that? And that's what a lot of people realize. And, you know, I tell people this, some people this all the time. Like, I don't care what you have or don't have. That's not my point. You ain't proving the point to me. You got to prove something to somebody else that ain't got nothing. That actually wants what you have. And that was my past. That happened yesterday. And, you know, and I'm taking it for what it's worth, and I'm running with it because, again, you have pride out here. I love myself, and I see myself in everyone. That's almost like an affirmation. If you just think about it. Because if you love yourself that much and you see yourself in everyone, that means that you're taking everything for what it's worth. You're taking them for what it's worth. Or for their worth. And if you know your worth, you will try to place that on other people. But sometimes people show you, when they start showing you these things differently, you look at them different. You view them differently. You see them differently. You talk to them differently. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize. Like, if I'm talking to you differently than what I did from when we first met, just know that I see you in a different light. I see what you are worth. I see what it is that you are willing to do in my life to compromise my life. And I'm going to leave that at that, because my love, my self-love, my self-worth means more to me than you at the moment of compromising my worth, my love. And you are willing to hurt me regardless to the fact. You get what I'm saying? And here you have worked through your fears. I don't have a fear in men. As I said, I have a great fear of snakes. That word alone make me shivers. Give me shivers and chills. Looking at a snake sends shivers down my body. And the thing of it is, my Chinese zodiac is the snake. Ain't that something? But not because of that moment. In Chinese culture, even in American culture, that snake symbolizes, in spirituality, it symbolizes wisdom, beauty, elegance, grace, but more or so, wisdom, transformation. And the saying goes, as our parents used to say, well, my mom used to tell us all the time, it's okay to be a fool, but don't be the D word fool. Right? So if you get it, you get it. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you. This reading is not for you. So the next card we had, I was failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. And that's what I was saying. That through all of this, like the past situation that I had with my sister brings me to this moment that happened yesterday. Because that was a moment that, I should have learned, got my lesson from. And I didn't. And actually, this lesson keeps replaying itself to me more than none. Because I haven't fully grasped what it is to learn, teaching myself how to let certain things go. Because I feel it as an attack when it may not be that case. Not that I saw this attack, a particular attack the other day as an attack. But what was said was, it was a question that I have asked weeks ago. And this person took it as an attack to say, I have my own blank. So I saw it as, I literally don't care what you have or don't have. That's not my place or my job to judge you on. And again, as I said, people feel like just because you're not physically clapping for them, they don't believe that you're clapping for them. Some people need that attention, I'm guessing, because, I don't know. So, and I'm not one of those ones to actually verbally say things out loud, but deep down inside, my heart is smiling and I am relating. So if you're telling me something and I'm not in my head like, yeah, I understand that, I'm saying that to say that I understand where you're coming from, because I've been in that situation. And again, that I had to start my life and my children's life over day nearly from nothing, because all of our stuff was stolen. So it is what it is. You can't please everybody, but you can definitely help your life situation by learning these signs and what they mean when they come about. Because had I known that, I was gonna, well, I'm not gonna say I really reacted to it, but it took me to their notch just a little bit. So the card we had, I was hold your vision. And that means not letting anyone distract you from that. Like, your end goal. You know where it is that you are reaching. You know what it is that you are doing. And you know where it is that you are moving toward. Expect powerful change. And they go so well with this. Hold your vision. And don't let your past hold you back. And a new start is coming. Because at the end of the day, no one can change the way you view or see things except for yourself. And while you are experiencing what you are experiencing. So we're going to get some clarity on why I fell y'all here. And I don't think I read that. Yes, I did. And I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Of course it is. Of course it is. But if you find yourself just consistently repeating a cycle or a lesson, just know that you haven't learned the lesson yet and how to move past certain things. Because I promise you, and more than none, like even on jobs, I find this lesson, happening just about every other job in my life, or with something that's being said. I take it the wrong way and I run with what I feel or what I believe to be true. And sometimes it causes me more harm than good. And yeah. And usually, most of the time, I'm usually right. And sometimes it works out for my best. So, failure. Why? Let's failure out here. And sometimes it works out for my best. And the best clarity you can have is when you ask yourself, do you really belong here? Do you really fit in? Why are you still here? What's the reason that you're still here? What can you do to make it better? Things like that. But at the same time, I'm glad I got to see this again, so that when it does happen again, I can, deal with it accordingly when moving forward. Because it's crazy that, I paid attention to the lesson before, but I really never just sat with it for, how could I put this? I really never sat with it to just really just deal with it and figure out what it is and why I was repeating this particular lesson. Could you clarify failure? And my dad used to say all the time, nothing beats a failure than a person that won't try. And like I said, I was one of them ones that wouldn't apologize. And that's something that I'm learning to do. So with the clarity of failure, we have the Knight of Swords to the Magician. That's finally holding up your light and realizing that, it's okay to step out of your comfort zone. It's okay to, bend the rules to your will. It's okay to do or say what it is that you need to say and release things. This is going to come in soon for some of us. And some of us, it may take a little bit more time for us to realize this, the position that this has put us in. For some, that's what I get with this magician. Like, this change is something that you're gonna be intentionally. You're gonna intentionally do it, and it's gonna work out for your greater good. Because now you know. Now you have the lesson. Now you know what it is that you need to say or do for things to work out in your favor and to move on and to let go. What is keeping you back from leveling up, from expanding, from keeping you from moving, reaching your financial goals, or whatever it is that's restraining you and keeping you stagnant in the moment. All right, so what can we do in this moment to move past this current situation? We have the Page of Pentacles. And I feel like that's just knowing yourself, knowing who you are, knowing where you stand with people, and saying what needs to be said and knowing what needs to be done. Clarify more. Maybe I should have used a different deck to clarify it. You have the Hermit. The Hermit, Page of Pentacles, to the Ten of Wands, and the Star. This moment is not going to be for everybody. Like I said, in this moment, you cannot take everybody with you once this journey is complete. This 10 of Wands out here with the Star card showing me that you are laying those burdens to rest, and you are now watering your own grass or pouring into yourself in ways that others did not pour into you. And so, and although, as you can see, she's taking water from the pond, lake, river, ocean, whatever this is, and she's pouring another cup out on the grass. That means she is watering her own grass. And here you have 8 stars. For me, these stars either gonna represent how I feel like is either the 8 of Cups or the 8 of Pentacles. Either or one of those, whichever one fits the narrative. Because what it is that your hard work, the determination that you have put in to get to clear, counsel, and release this is your hard work putting in and pouring into yourself, as well as you are releasing these things, these people, places, and things that's not serving your higher purpose or your greater good, as you continue to let these burdens down. Because what I keep hearing, I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside. You get what I'm saying? And as you can see, she's pouring back into the water, but she's also pouring into that grass, and that water is flowing back into the lake, pond, or river as she continues to lay down her burdens, male or female. Put it where it goes. Thank you guys for tuning in to Intuitive-da-MoonGoddess channel. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Goodbye.